Welcome to ESPN on ABC College Football, presented by Kay Jewelers and Jimmy V Week for Cancer Research, as we continue our commitment to the V Foundation and Jim Valvano's dream to defeat cancer. The fans fighting the cold here in Stillwater, Oklahoma. It was near zero when most of these folks woke up this morning. They've arrived at Boone Pickens Stadium for the latest get-together in a rivalry known as Bedlam, the Battle of Oklahoma. Today it's number 17, the Sooners of Oklahoma, making the short trip to Stillwater to take on the 6th-ranked Oklahoma State Cowboys. A win today in Oklahoma State clinches at least a share of the Big 12 title, and they'd also clinched the BCS berth for this conference because they have won head-to-head against both Baylor and Texas. The Longhorns and the Baylor Bears go head-to-head today, so the head-to-head tiebreaker would go to very emotional. Oklahoma State has won 9 in a row here at Boone Pickens Stadium. A win today would match the longest home winning streak in the history of this program. It's also a chance for an 11-win season for the 3rd time in the last 4 years. They had never won 11 games in the history of the program prior to these last 4 years. And not in a big hurry, Chris, to come on the field, and given the weather, I can't say that I blame them, and given the palatial conditions of their locker room,
yes,
I can't say that I blame them. That's been a big part of the resurgence of this program. The money spent particularly by Boone Pickens and facilities and other aspects of the Oklahoma State football program have really helped their recruiting, and here they come. Oklahoma doesn't have as much theoretically to play for. They have been eliminated from the Big 12 race for the first time since 2009. They come into this game without the Big 12 race being a factor. But just 2 losses. We saw Northern Illinois lose last night. Perhaps an outside shot for the Sooners at a BCS at-large bid. But first and foremost, they want to win this rivalry game. They've gone back and forth at quarterback. Today it's Trevor Knight.
Well, Trevor Knight brings the zone read concept to this offense, which accounts for Oklahoma State having to prepare to defend that. He's improved as a passer, Sean, coming off 171 yards against Baylor, a career high, or against Kansas State, excuse me. Here's what I'm talking about, the zone read. He's very patient with this. Watch his eyes. He sees the defensive end jump in, and he shows his burst to the goal line. Now, this is where he's improved. He's going to read the defensive back that's going to try to undercut the wide receiver, but he throws it over top of the defensive back on time and on target. Here's a young player that's playing with great confidence and gets better with each rep.
It's called Bedlam, and those people are called crazy, those without their shirts on today. Oklahoma State, the kickoff in college football dates to 1904. They've played every year since 1910. Oklahoma has dominated, including lately 9 of the last 10 in the win column for the Sooners. They won in dramatic fashion in the first overtime game ever between these two teams last year in Norman. They never led in the game until they scored the game-winning touchdown in overtime.
He takes the snap. End zone, touchdown, Oklahoma. This time it's Brennan Clay. He busts free. Clay at the 5. Touchdown, and Bedlam's over.
That was indeed Bedlam, one of many memorable games between these two. Oklahoma won the toss and deferred, so Michael Honeycutt kicks off for the Sooners. And it comes down to the end zone. Was not fielded by Desmond Rowland. Here's Shannon Spake down on the field.
Well, Sean, while I've certainly been accused of being soft when it's cold out there, I think even the toughest guy, yes, even you, Chris Spielman, would agree that it is cold right now. And because of that, it's going to be a little more high-maintenance game for these players and coaches. Hundreds of these hand warmers will be on the sideline. The players will have warm chicken soup during the game. During halftime broth, I should say. It'll be enriched with electrolytes, some of that. And some of the guys will put antiperspirant on their feet to prevent moisture. Now, Oklahoma practiced outside in the elements through Wednesday. Oklahoma State spent the entire week outside dealing with the snow and the cold. And the players we spoke to said that they do not think it's going to be an issue. In fact, linebacker Caleb Levy said, quote, "We can't be soft all of our lives." Guys?
Well, you can't be. And the thing that helps, the field is clear, Sean, and there's not a lot of wind, so it shouldn't affect how they run their offense.
And we didn't talk to a single player on either side who thought the weather would really be a factor once you get out there running around. It's not going to be very pleasant for the fans. Desmond Rowland turns the corner. Only one man has a chance to get him. Gabe Lynn, the angle, and it doesn't help him. Touchdown, Oklahoma State. 75 yards on the first play. And a flag down. Crowd just now seeing it, as are we. Looked like it was thrown late, way back at the 30-yard line.
Holding number 17, offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Greg Burks is the referee. Charlie Moore, the wide receiver, called for a very costly holding penalty.
Sees Charlie Moore right here matched up against Sanchez. First of all, they get a good lead block by the fullback, and right there the hands are outside and you see him grab and pull that jersey. You have to have the discipline.
On first and goal, now it's a touchdown. Desmond Rowland. Ben Grogan, true freshman kicker, on to try the extra point. A 99-yard drive for Mike Gundy's Oklahoma State Cowboys. Took him 10 plays to do it. And after a rough start, Chelp was 4 for 4 on the drive. Rowland scored the touchdown. To Jalen Saunders. Good kick. Wind really not much of a factor here early in the game. Saunders with some running room. No flags on the field. Jalen Saunders. Touchdown, Oklahoma. A 64-yard punt return for a touchdown by Jalen Saunders. His second punt return for a touchdown this year. The extra point by Michael Honeycutt ties it. 49-yard punt, 64-yard return at a tie game.
Well, just the patience to set this up and the vision to cut it back outside, and the discipline of the punt return team not to hold, not to block in the back, get Jalen Saunders in space and let him do his work. Right here, that's the cut that made it. They lost contain on the outside, and just speed finishes the deal for Jalen Saunders and the Oklahoma Sooners.
Well, that was an instant replay, and it's really an instant replay of a year ago. We mentioned Oklahoma never led in regulation. They were kind of on their heels early in the fourth quarter when Jalen Saunders brought the crowd to life in Norman. 81-yard punt return. That made it 38-36 in favor of Oklahoma State. They went for two to the Sooners and tied it at 38 with a successful two-point conversion. So for the second year in a row, he has ignited the Sooners with a punt return touchdown.
It looked like the same return. He broke it to the right, set it up down the middle, and broke it to the right. And I always say, if they haven't stopped it once, they're not going to stop it twice. Jalen Saunders, big play.
You got 11. Desmond Rowland. Will they catch him? Yes, inside the 10-yard line. Julian Wilson ran him down and saved the touchdown.
You know, the problem they're having is they're not getting a hand on the runners until they get to the safeties. Oklahoma State will have a hat on a hat. Good seal block by Stacey, number 9. Then Rowland makes the guy miss an open field, and he can do some work.
They come quickly back to the line. Rowland again from the 8 to the 3. Gabe Lynn made the tackle. So Des Rowland had a 75-yard touchdown. Called back on the first play from scrimmage for a holding penalty. That 51-yard run stands. And he's over 100 yards rushing in the half. The average is 55 yards rushing per game. Really running back by committee, with Chelf getting some carries as well. They spread out the rush yardage. Rowland got popped by Gabe Lynn. Spun off it and got to the 1. It'll be 3rd down and goal.
Gabe Lynn hit him at the 3, and you mentioned it. He spun off because Gabe came in there and just threw a shoulder. If he would have wrapped him up, it would have been at the 3-yard line as opposed to the 1. That's the power of Rowland, running through that shoulder tackle.
And the diamond now around Chelf. And they give it to Kai Staley, and he is stacked up. Charles Tapper led the defense. And a decision for Mike Gundy on 4th and goal from the 1.
I think I try to go for it, Sean. Why? Because Oklahoma's having trouble stopping their running game. You have the power going. I think it's hard not to go for it if you're Mike Gundy. Sending a strong message.
We've seen that diamond formation a lot on tape, Chris, and they handed off to all of those backs. So with the defense, you just can't expect it's going to be rolling with those fullbacks blocking. They might hand it to one of the fullbacks as well, as they did on the last play.
And they have a bootleg off of it.
Going for it on 4th and goal. They do give it to Rowland, and he's stopped for a loss. The Sooners hold. Gabe Lynn again up there at the line of scrimmage. Chuka Indulaway also at the bottom of the pile. So a big play on special teams got the Sooners even, and now a big stand by the defense gives them the ball back. Chip for Stoops, as we mentioned, winningest coach in total wins at Oklahoma. Just a 3-man rush on 3rd and 15. Knight, terrific run, but he's down about a yard short of the first down. Lindell Johnson stopped him, but it's close enough to make it a tough decision for Bob Stoops.
I think right now, if you do anything, you try to draw them off sides, but I'm of the belief that you go ahead and punt the football in this situation. And just as I say that, he's bringing in 2 tight ends, Rukowski and Brandon Green.
4th down, a short 2, about a yard and a half. From just inside the 45-yard line of Oklahoma State. Nice play. Saunders started in motion, then came back to the near sideline. Knight pitched it to him. And it's a 1st down. I guess, Chris, the decision is made easier when, as a coaching staff, you know in your mind you have a play like this you think can work in this situation.
Great job by Josh Heupel, the offensive coordinator, dialing up the dive option, but bringing back, it's almost like a counter because of the change of direction in the backfield by Saunders. Well executed under pressure by Trevor Knight.
Seconds. They're at the 4, trying to take the lead. 3rd and goal, 50 seconds to go in the half. Trevor Knight straight back to pass, flushed from the pocket, nobody open, running out of time, and he's short of the end zone. Caleb Levy fast enough to get Knight out of bounds with help from Ryan Simmons, and Bob Stoops sends the field goal team on.
Well, this is disciplined in coverage. It sets it up. Number 11, Sean Lewis, is taking away any corner route, understanding he has help in the middle of the field. And you saw Ryan Simmons, a young man with speed, to make sure that Knight and Levy get there. Does not get into the end zone. Those linebackers all can run. Coverage sack for the Cowboys.
And Knight's walking toward the locker room. Michael Honeycutt trying to tie it, does with a 21-yard field goal. 22 field goals made now by Honeycutt. That's the single season Oklahoma record. And they're going to go take a look at Trevor Knight. 10-10 the score. That long Oklahoma drive that resulted in a field goal. Trevor Knight appeared to injure himself as he went out of bounds, scrambling, tried to get into the end zone on a third down play. He went to the locker room before the rest of the team, and Shannon Spake has more.
Well, Coach Stoops would not tell me what Trevor Knight, what he injured or where he injured it, which play he injured it on, but he did tell me that he'll be out for the second half. He will not be playing in the second half. It'll be a combination of Blake Bell and Kendall Thomas playing at quarterback, so that will certainly be a new look for this offense. But other than that, Coach Stoops told me they're going to stick to their game plan. He said focusing on third down will be key for them in the second half. That's where he feels that they haven't done a stellar job.
Well, the good news for Oklahoma, Blake Bell started 8 games this year. He was very effective in a number of them. Did not start 2 weeks ago at Kansas State because of a concussion, but obviously cleared to play, and that wasn't a certainty until just the last 24 hours or so.
Yeah, and it's a different type of running game with Bell. When he's in the game now, it's more of a power running game, quarterback calls, and also look for Oklahoma to take some shots down the middle of the field like Oklahoma State. Now, if Kendall Thompson comes back into the game, Sean, the zone read is back in play for the Sooner offense.
And both of these quarterbacks we may see in the second half are adept runners, but with different styles. Kip Smith kicks off out of bounds for Oklahoma State. A bad mistake by the Cowboy kickoff man to begin the second half.
Kicking team. Ball to be placed 30 yards from the spot of the kick. First down.
It looks like Kendall Thompson might get the first snap of the second half.
You know, I think the reason why that is happening is because he can run the option, and Coach Gundy mentioned going off the field at the end of the first half. And Oklahoma State defense didn't have an answer for the option, and Kendall Thompson is certainly capable of running the same type of offense that they like to run with Trevor Knight.
So it will be Thompson. And as you said, the offense is similar to what it would be with Trevor Knight, whereas Bell is more of a straight ahead power runner in the quarterback run game. Play action pass. Thompson throwing a deep ball, and it is intercepted. Kevin Peterson picks it off. He had the coverage on LaColton Bester.
I don't know if I'd throw this pass as the first one of the ball game for Kendall Thompson. Peterson does a good job. He's making his mind up where he's going with that football, deep and long. And it's underthrown and thrown inside toward the defensive back instead of outside where only his guy Belster can get it or nobody can get it. And Kevin Peterson. Big play for the Sooner defense and Glenn Spencer.
Peterson was once committed in time of possession, but almost a 2-to-1 edge for Oklahoma State in total yardage.
And Oklahoma has to find some type of game through the air. As we see 28 yards passing. Not going to do it.
87 now passing for Oklahoma State. They've had the one big play on this drive, trying to capitalize on an interception. Desmond Rowland ahead to the 15-yard line. Chuka and Duluway made the tackle, and again very fast tempo for Oklahoma State for Mike Yursich, the offensive coordinator. Chelf throws, man wide open, touchdown. Desmond Rowland puts the Cowboys back on top. Cowboys at 42 yards passing at the half. They had 60 yards passing on that 83. A blitz got picked up and the pass is intercepted. Chelf tried to force it in to Stewart, and Julian Wilson stepped right in front of it. First turnover of the ball game by the Cowboys, and the first interception of the year for Julian Wilson.
Just a great patience right here by Julian Wilson. Josh Stewart came out, Sean, throwing a lot of shoulder fakes. Julian Wilson stayed patient in his coverage, read the quarterback's eyes. A beautiful break on the football to create a play for the Sooner defense to help the Sooner offense.
Each team with one turnover. Both turnovers have happened here in the third quarter. An interception for each team. Oklahoma defense been very solid all season long, 13th in the country in total defense. One of the criticisms has been not many takeaways. They have 19 now. This their 12th game of the year. Kendall Thompson throws to an open receiver and a first down. First catch of the year for Brandon Green, ordinarily a blocking tight end. But he was open, and he got to the 44 of the Cowboys.
And this is what I'm talking about. Just a couple of series. Thompson starting to get a rhythm, and right there's a frozen rope, literally, to Green. He's looking more confident, and the coaches are calling a confident game for Kendall Thompson. Sean, they're letting him throw the ball, and they're setting something up now. You can go deep, or they come back to that little option game that worked so well in the first half.
First and 10, first down to the half for Oklahoma. Thompson throwing again too high over the head of LaColton Bester. Here's Robert Flores. Well, apparently problem with our connection to Robert. He works from his palatial studios. We'll try to reconnect with Roe Flow. Second and 10 from the 44. Oklahoma down by a touchdown. Reverse. Jalen Saunders picks up blocks. One man to beat. Gilbert slowed him down long enough to bring some help. First and goal, Oklahoma. Into the bag of tricks, and it pays off beautifully.
No, not only a reverse, but the old double reverse. And watch Thompson. He says, I'm going to help this team any way I can, either throwing, running, or catching a block and getting in the way. And an outstanding job by Justin Gilbert downfield here, saving the play as he beats Eichert, a very talented center, to save the touchdown. But a great call with the double reverse for Josh Heupel, who's dialed in.
37 yards on that play. Big day for Saunders, who had the punt return for a touchdown. Thompson throws it away wisely. He was under duress as soon as he turned. Lindell Johnson, been a very effective blitzer today for Oklahoma State, was the man applying the pressure.
And disciplined in their routes. That was man coverage. They tried to run a bootleg, but Oklahoma State all year has been disciplined in playing their assignments and not trying to do somebody else's job, but doing their job. And when you do that, good things happen like it did on that play.
3.5 to go, third quarter. Second and goal, just inside the 8, and Clay pads popping as he ran into Caleb Levy.
Well, this is how you fill a hole, with attitude and determination. And it helps when you don't get blocked, but he comes in with his head up, his eyes up, and wrapping up. Watch his head. See that? He keeps his head up and does a great job of sealing the deal. He's instinctive. What he lacks in speed, he makes up in instincts, which helps that speed, and he gets to where he's supposed to be on time.
Lake Bell back in at quarterback now. Will it be a power run? He is flushed immediately. Got away from James Castleman. Throws! Touchdown! Did he have it long enough? No! Brandon Green had it, but then it got popped away by Daquan Lowe. You wonder if Green was a little nonchalant at the end of that catch. Looking down to make sure his feet were in bounds, Chris, and he didn't really tuck the ball away.
You're exactly right, Sean. He's looking to see his feet, and I give credit to Lowe for not giving up on the play and knocking it out of there. If he would have saw Lowe coming instead of looking down where his feet would have been, then he would be able to secure that football and brace himself for the hit.
Clearly never had possession. Huge play, and those are the kind of plays that win or lose rivalry games. For the second time in this game, Oklahoma gets inside the 10, kicked the field goal last time. Now it's a fake, and it is a touchdown. Grant Bothan, the holder, threw it to the kicker, Michael Honeycutt. They weren't content to drive inside the 10 and kick another field goal. They want to tie it up. And those are the kind of plays that decide rivalry games.
Think about Coach Stoops. I love the call. And you're trusting your kicker. Your holder's going to throw a touchdown pass to your kicker. I bet you that won't be said again today.
And we asked Bob Stoops the other day, what's this rivalry like? Oh, it's just like every other in-state rivalry game. I don't really think he believes that in his heart.
Not with that call. What a great call and executed by the holder and the kicker. Way to be football players, guys.
Touchdown. Previous play is under further review.
We're going to review it. Make sure Honeycutt had it. He took a pretty good shot at 176 pounds. And they want to make sure he had possession, got into the end zone.
You play man-to-man in the fake, but oftentimes when you play man-to-man,
it's definitely a catch.
nobody has the kicker, and he is across the goal line before the ball comes loose, and all you have to do is cross the plane of the goal line with possession of the football to get the touchdown.
And the thrower is behind the line of scrimmage, which was the 8, so that's not even close either. So it's a legal forward pass. That's a catch. Took several steps with it in the end zone, no doubt. Touchdown, Caleb Levy with the hit, but it was too late.
Sean, you play man-to-man in this situation, and again, sometimes you're vulnerable because you don't account for the kicker. And Boston, number 84, delivers a nice throw. That's not an easy throw to make if you're a holder and he throws it on the run.
I don't know why this replay review is taking so long. In the passers behind the line of scrimmage, it's a catch. He's well into the end zone.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
Yep. Good job by David Ames in the replay booth. Goes as an 8-yard touchdown pass. The holder, Bothan, the sophomore, to Honeycutt. Semifinalist for the Lou Groza Award. Now he has to clear his head and focus on this extra point to tie the game. I doubt he's been hit that hard very often. Missed only one extra point all year. Well, it's called Bedlam, and it's turning into just that again. Tied at 17 late in the third quarter.
Saunders in the slot, working on low.
Blake Bell on 3rd down and 6. 1 for 12 on 3rd down. Comfortably in field goal range now. They want a touchdown, obviously. Bell throws the quick slant, incomplete, intended for Shepard. And with 6 yards to go, Bob Stoops isn't going to go for this 4th down. Honeycutt comes on.
Tyler Patman, the transfer from Kansas, does a good job of playing that slant route and arriving and making the cut at the same time the wide receiver makes the cut. Not a bad decision for Bell to overthrow that ball.
Patman graduated from Kansas, had a year of eligibility left. He's been a huge lift to this secondary in his 1 year in Stillwater. Honeycutt now for the first lead of the day for Oklahoma. 39-yard try, and that is right down the middle. With 10:01 to go, Oklahoma leads the Cowboys by 3. He's kicked 2 field goals. He scored a touchdown. He squibs one down the field. Picked up by Desmond Rowland. Good return. Right up the near numbers. Brought it out to the 36. Here's our Pacific Life game summary with under 10 minutes to go and Oklahoma leading by 3. Trevor Knight started, played the first half, injured late in the half during a long drive that resulted in a field goal. They trailed at the half. Actually tied at 10 at the half. Kendall Thompson off the bench threw an interception. Oklahoma, a fake field goal. That touchdown pass from the holder, Grant Bachman to Honeycutt, tied the game, and now Honeycutt, a field goal, has given them their first lead. Shelf zips one. Tracy Moore still doesn't have a catch.
Got an assist and a good defensive play by the umpire right there. And Chelf is a rhythm passer, Sean, and he hasn't been in rhythm all day. You look at it for the day, Oklahoma State has only thrown for 135 yards, and for this offense to be clicking, it has to operate at a better efficiency than that.
They had 2 long scoring drives, and that's about it. A 99-yard drive for their first touchdown. They went 82 for the other. The inability to convert on 3rd down has really hurt them on their other possessions. Jawan Seals got to the 44, a little bit short of it. And it's 3rd down and a long 2.5. Chelf hasn't been able to get into a rhythm all day. This would be a good time to find one. Has plenty of time. Zips one deep down the field. And the flag is thrown. As Stewart turned back toward the ball, Quentin Hayes had his back turned, didn't know it was coming, and got tangled up with the intended receiver.
Interference. Defense, number 10, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
You can see right there, Quentin Hayes does get there in time, and I tell you, I think he would have been okay. Right now, he looks back for the ball just a little late, and you see that left hand get there early. A good call by the officials on the double move going down the field.
No question about the call, no argument from the Oklahoma sideline.
And you know that ball being underthrown actually caused that pass interference. If that ball was well thrown over the top, it's either touchdown or incomplete.
Stewart on the jet sweep, dumped at the line of scrimmage. Charles Tapper.
Koenig got handled by Tapper, and Tapper said, if I'm not going to make the tackle with my hands, I'll use the butt of the offensive tackle and throw him in to Stewart, and exactly what he did.
Quiet here now, anxiety. Fans came here with the Cowboys favored by 10, expecting to celebrate their 2nd Big 12 championship in 3 years. It might happen, but they're going to have to rally. Chelf pulled it down. Like a pretty good hit as he got to the 38. Tapper not appropriately named there. That was more in the tap.
Yeah, he's a good football player. And a good decision by Chelf. They tried to run an option look and hit something deep off the play action. Nothing open, and Chelf does a good job. What I like, he covered the ball with both hands when he saw the contact coming.
3rd down and 5, not in field goal range. Perhaps 4 down territory inside the 40-yard line. Sooners crowd the line. They bring a blitz. Chelf throws single coverage and incomplete for Charlie Moore. Didn't look like he would have had a chance to catch it in bounds. Moore was hoping to take advantage of the freshman Zach Sanchez today, but he hasn't had a catch. Boy, that would have been in bounds.
Yes, it would have, and that's a drop, and that's a blown opportunity for Oklahoma State. And you hit on it earlier. If you want to win rivalry games, you make a play when you have an opportunity to make a play. If you don't, you can cost your team, and that's a big play. Now, don't forget, Charlie Moore also had the holding call on the first play of the game, and Roland went the distance. 2 missed opportunities for Charlie.
Tip Smith on the punt. They're positioned to down it, and they do. Oklahoma down 2 of their punts at the 1-yard line, and now the favor is returned. Stanvon Taylor well positioned. 37-yard punt. From their own 1-yard line, leading by 3, 8 minutes to go. Oklahoma, Clay got driven back into the end zone, but he made it to the 1 before he ran headlong into Caleb Levy.
Well, this is the 2nd time this happened where he comes unblocked. And watch this, on contact, he does not go to his knees, and he brings his feet on contact, and he wraps up. But I got to tell you, you got to get over the chalkboard and say, it's probably pretty wise to block the middle linebacker on a run up the middle. And Caleb's smart enough and just really a good, solid tackler and an outstanding college linebacker. I don't know if he'll have a future in the NFL, but he certainly has made his mark in college football.
Credited with 5 tackles. Certainly seems that he's been in more than that. He's forced a fumble. Bell, trouble with the snap. Got it back. Anxious moment for Bell and the Sooners. And now a man wide open. Sterling Shepard. Look out from behind. Daquan Lowe trying to strip it. Shepard down in Oklahoma State territory at the 42-yard line.
And Sean, they're going to get a flag because the official tripped over an Oklahoma State assistant coach. So you'll see that coming. Oh, no, Oklahoma assistant coach, excuse me.
And I want to correct what I said on the down punt. It was Ashton Lampkin, number 6 for Oklahoma State, who downed it. I did inadvertently credit it to a Oklahoma number 6.
This just reminds me of the Mike Tomlin incident when the coaches get excited.
There is no foul for sideline interference.
Why not?
First down, Oklahoma.
Well, the official on the far sideline, you can see it live during the play. He took a tumble. Wow, talk about from a near disaster, Chris, to a huge play, 57 yards.
And you see, keep your eye on the top of the screen.
Oh, they're in the white area.
Yeah. All right, play ball.
In a game like this, they didn't want something like that to be a factor, and you can understand. I mean, it wasn't intentional. They were trying to back up and get out of the way, but Eugene Hall, the side judge, still hit the deck.
He threw that flag quick too when he hit the deck, and he was in the white, and you know, it's probably all in all good. No call in this type of situation.
I guess enforce the letter of the law, you call it. But I think in this game, in this situation, they weren't trying to trip him. Well, Mike Tomlin, you could certainly argue that he was trying to get in the way, despite his claims to the contrary. Only he knows for sure. Brennan Clay on 2nd and 10. Upended Ryan Simmons, and really, Chris, a point in the game with 6 minutes to go. This Cowboy defense, if they want to win a conference title, likely has to rise up. Oklahoma, at the very least, not far from field goal range.
Be interesting here. I would play it safe if I'm Coach Stoops. I don't want to throw anything in the middle of the field. I want to go ahead and make sure I at least have the opportunity to punt for good field position.
Blake Bell. They only have one timeout left. Both sides trying to change the call. Only a 3-man rush. It's a screen to Bester, weaving his way through traffic, and down short of the first down, and likely short of field goal range as well. Down at the 36-yard line. Tyler Johnson made the tackle, and a big decision here for Bob Stoops. Long way to go, about 4 yards on 4th down, so he's going to try to pin them in very deep and lean on that defense with under 5 minutes to go.
Now, that was a safe call and the right call by Coach Stoops, and Oklahoma State had the right defense, dropping 8 so they could rally to the football on the jet screen.
And Josh Stewart, dangerous return man, but you'd have to think here they won't give him a chance to return it. Jed Barnett already has had 2 punts down at the 1. And they take the delay of game penalty. They make it a little bit easier for him. Doesn't have to take quite as much off it to keep it out of the end zone.
And while we're talking about good special teams play, number 7, Trey Franks, you see him out here in the corner, has done a good job of downing that ball, knowing where he is on the field.
10 men up for the Cowboys. They came after it. Got a piece of one earlier. Tumbling kick. Stewart got away from it. And that one's going to roll dead at the 11-yard line. Roy Finch down there to down it. A lot of interested people watching this one, particular Baylor and Texas fans. Oklahoma leads by 3. And they're each going to be in the championship game. Auburn, Alabama, Missouri, and this Oklahoma State team hoping for a stumble. It'll be a long shot for the Cowboys to get there. Not going to happen at all unless they win, and they're really up against it now. 4:27 to go. Down by 3. They start from their 11. And the pass caught by Josh Stewart. Out to the 25, even with 4:22 to go. They're going very quickly to the line. A 14-yard gain. For the Cowboy offense, it's been a case of no more. No catches by Tracy Moore or Charlie Moore, 2 of their best receivers, who had combined for 72 catches coming in. They've each had a drop or 2. Charlie Moore had a key holding penalty on the first play of the game. Chow throws a wobbler, and that time Charlie Moore hangs on.
He hangs on by taking a shot too, Sean. Number 9, Gabe Lynn's going to come in here and give him a pop, and Charlie Moore secures the football, makes a tough catch over the middle for the Cowboy offense.
27-yard game. Shelf comes out slinging. And he's 2 for 2. Look to throw the swing wide open. There's Tracy Moore. Well, neither Moore had a catch. Now they're both involved, and they're in field goal range with 3.5 to go.
They worked on a true freshman, Dominique Alexander, on a swing route. Dominique chased after the swing, and Tracy Moore, with just a little bit delay, snuck across the middle, the area where number 42, Alexander, vacated.
Stewart, Charlie Moore, Tracy Moore. 14, 27, 21. Shelf again. Man open. Caught by Tracy Moore. First and goal at the 5-yard line.
The fans want more, and you can see Shelf. When he's in rhythm, he's on target. Right now, he's in great rhythm.
23-yard game. Struggled to pass all day long, and now they can't miss. So quickly from their own 11 to the Oklahoma 5. Trying to reclaim the lead. Roland up the middle. Pulled down by Quincy Russell with help from Dominique Alexander. All 3 timeouts left for Oklahoma State. Just 1 left for Oklahoma. And the clock goes under 3 minutes to go.
And you might want to slow the tempo down here, and it's not a bad idea to use as much clock as you can and still run the offense and the plays that you want to play. You just want to take away the opportunity for the Sooner offense when they get the ball back.
Second and goal. From the 3. 2.5 minutes to go. Conference title on the line for the Cowboys. Rolling down to the goal line. Marked short. He hit and bounced. Frank Shannon credited with the tackle, a half-yard short of the goal line.
Well, the Sooners had 1 goal line stop in the second quarter. They're going to have a chance to have another goal line stop right here.
They held in the second quarter with 7-7. Looked like a good spot.
Yes, sir.
Knee was down, and then he lunged forward just inside the 1. 3rd down and goal. Under 2 minutes to go. Sooners up at the line. Touchdown, Des Roland. Place is bedlam. The Cowboys perhaps a minute 46 away from a Big 12 title. Huge extra point. The 4-point lead means that a field goal on the next possession does Oklahoma no good. Ben Grogan, the true freshman, puts Oklahoma State on top by 4. They went 89 yards in just 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Really showing the form, Chris, of the Oklahoma State explosive passing teams of recent years. A pass game that's been dormant almost all day. And Moore's, Charlie and Tracy, out of the witness protection program on that drive.
Well, they made big plays with their team, and the whole key was Clint Shelf getting in rhythm, and by going up tempo and getting him in rhythm, really helped this offense play to its full potential, and they started attacking downfield. And Charlie Moore made a great play in that in route shot. He came back for the football, understanding that he was going to take a shot from Gabe Lynn, but he made the play when the play needed to be made. That's what seniors do in rivalry games.
$89 yards, 7 plays. Roland has scored all 3 Cowboy touchdowns. Chelf was 4 for 4 for 84 of those 89 yards.
Plenty of time here for the Sooner offense. You got a veteran that's played a lot, Blake
Just
Bell.
the 1 timeout left. That hurts. Had to use one on defense very early in the half. Kip Smith, short kickoff, caught on the run by Brennan Clay. And he's taken down at the 34-yard line. Dion Amade, special teams tackle. Tomorrow night on ESPN, don't miss the bowl selection show. We'll unveil all of the matchups for the bowl season. The experts will preview most anticipated games, reaction from head coaches and players as the games are revealed. It's the bowl selection show tomorrow night at 9 on ESPN, also live on Watch ESPN. Will the Cowboys be going to the Fiesta Bowl? That question will be answered in 1 minute and 41 seconds.
It'll be interesting to see what Glenn Spencer, the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, decides to do. Keep the pressure or play a little safe so nothing gets behind.
Blake Bell, they set up a screen. Sterling Shepard going to be spotted down just short of the first down at the 43. It's a 9-yard gain, under 1.5 minutes to go. Zach Craig made the tackle.
It's amazing how the passing game has just gotten involved in this football game out of the blue.
Bell 6 out of 9 off the bench. They rush 3. Bell throws, caught at the Oklahoma State 40-yard line. Shepard again. They'll mark it at the 39. Daquan Lowe the tackle, 18 yards. Back come the Sooners.
A confident throw, Sean. Thrown to a spot, trusting that his receiver would be there, and he was.
Bell throws over the middle, too far out in front of his intended target, Jalen Saunders. There is a flag down. He was gesturing that Zach Craig had a hold of him, and the official on the far side of the field agrees.
Well, Jalen Saunders can work some moves in the slot, and that's tough duty for safety Zach Craig to line up over top.
Pass interference, defense, first down.
Right here. Now watch this move. This is tough duty for Craig. Understanding where his help is. See that little shake, he gets inside, and Craig is probably wise to hold on that because he's got clear sailing to the safeties if he doesn't get the pool.
Good call, and the official on the far sideline had a very good angle of the jersey yank. Bell out of the gun, throws single coverage for Bester, jump ball, and it is intercepted and ruled incomplete. Now Gilbert had it and couldn't hang on.
Well, I don't know if I want to attack the best corner in the country in one-on-one coverage, and Josh Gilbert has the ball secured, and give credit to Bester.
They're going to review that, certainly.
Let's see.
Did he have possession of the ball? I mean, he seems to have it in his arm. Is he down? Well, they don't review it. Bell takes the snap, launches toward the end zone. And it's incomplete out of the back of the end zone, intended for Jazz Reynolds. Oklahoma snapped the ball so fast, even if David Ames wanted to stop it in the replay booth, he didn't do it quickly enough.
Nice heads-up play by the Oklahoma sidelines, understanding that could have turned the other way, and they run right to it.
Now you know why they call it Bedlam. That's what it has turned into here, especially in the final moments. 49 seconds to go. 3rd and 10. Field goal really does them no good. Down by 4 and only 1 timeout left.
Cowboys are dropping 8.
And rush 3. Bell all kinds of time. Very close to the line as he throws for Jalen Saunders, who has a first down. At the 17-yard line, they'll stop the clock to move the chains.
Good awareness by Bell of understanding where he's on the field and understanding where his receivers are, reading the progression on the run.
Bell throws, single coverage, end zone, incomplete. Looking for Jazz Reynolds. Tyler Patman had the coverage. Well, the line of scrimmage on the previous play, the 30-yard line. And
yes, good awareness.
Yeah, he's behind the line.
Good awareness by Bell where he is, and awareness of where his receivers are on the field. Dangerous throw across his body, but it worked out.
2nd and 10. They have the 1 timeout to go. Just inside the 18-yard line. Bell pressured, even with the soft rush, out in the flat place to get out of bounds. Gets the first down, then goes out of bounds. 1st and goal. They're going to mark it at the 7-yard line. And now plenty of time.
Nice job of avoiding the tackle. Joe Mitchell getting extra yards and the awareness to get out of bounds.
Mike Gundy all the way down near the 10-yard line to call a timeout with his defense on its heels.
How about the response from both offenses? Answering each challenge with their own. And right here, Sean, this is a good awareness by Brennan Clay. And Mitchell, if he gets him on the ground, that clock is running. But Clay has the awareness to break the tackle and fight for the extra yards and get out of bounds.
And it's good awareness if Mitchell doesn't tackle him in bounds. But he made the play. And let's go back to the near interception by Gilbert. Looked to us live like he had it. They never did stop the game to review it because the Sooners snapped the ball so quickly.
See where he comes back down.
Well, there. It's when he hits the ground, though, that it pops out. And in my opinion, it's a good call.
Yep. Tough call, good call.
Incompleted.
Bang, bang. Play defense.
1st and goal from the 7. Bell, a threat to run, particularly with a timeout left. He throws, far corner of the end zone. Saunders again. Touchdown. Definitely a catch. Both feet in bounds. Possession the whole way. Saunders, who helped turn the game for Oklahoma last year with a punt return for a score, returned another punt for a score today, and now has the go-ahead touchdown with 19 seconds to go. Honeycutt's extra point makes it a 3-point game. Oklahoma State on the wrong end of this rivalry so often over the years, and today a comfortable favorite on the verge of losing again.
Well, how about Blake Bell throwing it to the back pylon? It's all set up. We have double slants. What that does is hopefully you knock off defenders and you run to the back flag. This is a timing route all the way. Saunders does a good job of pushing inside on Johnson. The ball's thrown to the back flag, perfectly timed, well executed. Saunders secures the catch, getting both feet in bounds. Blake Bell leading his team down the field for the game-winning drive, executing under pressure.
He was 5 out of 8 on the drive for 57 yards. When you talk about how crazy games can be, particularly rivalry games, I mean, Blake Bell seemed to be the logical choice to start the second half. He started 8 games this year. Bob Stoops went to Kendall Thompson at quarterback, who played in 1 game all year and thrown 4 passes. But at crunch time, Bell took them 66 yards in 8 plays. Just a minute 27 to do it. Credit both offenses for delivering down the stretch. Nick Poxon kicks off, squibs it, gets a nice bounce for the Cowboys. And it's returned by Teddy Johnson.
You have 2 timeouts to work with. You can work the ball into the middle of the field, and you want to get yourself in position so that Chelf has enough room, enough arm strength to throw the Hail Mary into the end zone.
And a field goal would get them to overtime. Ben Grogan has a long this season of 41. That includes one he kicked today. He had one other 41-yarder. Just 2 for 5 beyond 40 yards, though. Chelf, 4-man rush. They got close, and he throws incomplete. Had to get rid of it. 3 seconds come off the clock. Stryker and Tapper among those applying the pressure.
Mike Stoops is playing man-to-man with safety deep. He trusts his guys to make plays. Aggressive till the end.
Three wide receivers to the left of Clint Chelf. 4-man rush, and again he's pressured. Killing valuable time. Tapper takes him down back at the 31. 2 seconds to go. 1, and a timeout called by Oklahoma State.
Well, somebody that stepped up and is making plays all day is your defensive end Tapper. Now watch the separation he'll create with his inside right arm, then use his speed to get around the corner. See that push? He creates a separation with that sleeved arm and has the speed and agility to finish. Chelf.
That is the first official sack of the game for either team. From Tapper, the sophomore from Baltimore, Maryland, his team leading total now 5.5 sacks. And it's going to take a miracle if Oklahoma State is going to win a share of the Big 12 title. Gentleman in the hat on the right of your picture just went out of the screens. Joe Castiglione, the Oklahoma athletic director, does such a great job. And he said before the game, hey, if we win today, we're alive for a possible at-large BCS berth. They can't win the Big 12, but at 10-2, they're certainly in the conversation, particularly with Northern Illinois losing last month.
Yeah, they are. Really a great win and 10-win season again, but a good lesson to be learned for young players at Blake Bell as you get ready to run. Never gave up. Trevor Knight was the starter, stayed in the game, and here you go.
Now it's going to take a miracle of 70 yards for Chelf. They rush 4. They'll try to lateral it around the field. Seals, Stewart, rolling. They're going the wrong way. It's over the head of Chelf. And it is run into the end zone by Eric Stryker for a touchdown on the last play of this Bedlam game that lived up to its name. Oklahoma upsets Oklahoma State. Sooners said they weren't playing to be spoilers. This game means much more than that, and they had much more than that to play for. But they do deprive their in-state rival of any chance now at the Big 12 title. The winner of the Baylor-Texas game will be the Big 12 champion outright and get the automatic berth into the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. Here's Shannon Spake.
All right, Coach, let's get this straight. You come into the second half without your starting quarterback. You throw an interception. You go for a fake field goal. What were the emotions like in the last 2 quarters?
Well, I'm really proud of the players. They hung in there with all the injuries. Now we lose our quarterback. Blake Bell came in, was fabulous. Kendall Thompson did a nice job. Kids just kept fighting, you know, and we got a few breaks.
Tell me about that last drive with Bell and Saunders, watching that kind of take place.
Well, you know, Jalen can make people miss him. He's hard to cover. And Blake throws a good ball. He stayed in there, was ready to play, and he made some big plays down the stretch.
The decision to stick with Thompson despite the interception instead of going straight to Blake Bell, why did you guys make that?
Well, our game plan coming in was a lot of the zone read, a lot of the option game with the quarterback running, and Kendall does that, you know, pretty well as well. So that was the reason.
Thanks, Coach. We'll let you get to your celebration. Jalen Saunders, what back-to-back big plays in this Bedlam game. When they called your name and you knew the ball was coming to you in the end zone, what goes through your mind?
You know, just keep your composure. You know what you got to do. You know, stay disciplined in the route.
I saw you having some fun with the fans behind the bench. Can you just describe what this Bedlam game is like for you guys?
You know, there's a lot, you know, trash talking going on with the fans and us, you know, but I felt like that helped us, you know, whatnot, you know, get the game going, whatnot. So it was an excellent job by our team today.
When you caught the ball and you knew that you got the touchdown, what do you think? Another big game, another big play.
Man, I'm just real happy to catch the ball, you know, just knowing I just won the game for us.
All right, well, we'll let him get to the celebration. We're going to try to get some more players down here in just a bit. Big game. We have Blake Bell and Michael Honeycutt down here. Well, okay, so they come into the second half, and you know that your starting quarterback is out, but you know that you have the ability to win this game. What was the second half like for you guys?
Well, I mean, originally coming out, I was just trying to get warm and loose, and you know, knowing my time is coming, and I was going to be ready for it.
What did you see on the game-winning touchdown that you knew that was going to work for you guys?
Well, I just saw Jalen one-on-one with that guy, and he had a great route, and I put it out there for him. He did a great job catching it.
Were there any doubts, just considering the fact that you hadn't played the first half, and I saw you trying to get warmed up on the sideline for a while?
Well, yeah, I was just getting warm was a big deal, and other than that, I was just excited to be out there and help my team win.
All right, Michael Honeycutt, the kicker who made the touchdown. First of all, I got to ask you about getting tackled by Caleb Levy. That was a big hit you took there. Most guys wouldn't be able to recover.
Yeah, it was a big hit, but I'm just glad I got a touchdown, and I'm just glad I got the win today.
So they give you the call, and they tell you that it's going to go to you, and you're going to have to run it in. What do you think?
I'm excited. Big game. Third quarter, you know, it's down a couple points. Good to get a score and get the momentum back.
What does it mean to be part of this Bedlam rivalry and now to go down as a kicker who made a touchdown in this Bedlam rivalry?
Oh, it's awesome. I'm really glad to get a touchdown in this rivalry game. I'm glad I got the win for all our seniors today. They deserved it.
Thank you very much. You guys go enjoy this celebration. What a day here at Bedlam. A very cold day and a very great football game.
It was a classic, befitting a rivalry of this magnitude and this history. And the history dramatically in favor of Oklahoma delivers a punishing blow to Oklahoma State. Be sure to tune in to ABC tonight, 8 Eastern, the Dr. Pepper ACC Championship game. Number 1, Florida State, and number 22. That's tonight on ABC. Now for Shannon and Chris, Sean McDonough. So long. Let's head to the studio for the post-game report.